Good morning, everybody. Vlog of the year here. So as it turns out, my last video, for whatever reason, I thought I was at week 8. I started on September 5th. Started growing this beard out on September 5th. I had a short goatee, but it's only about a 1/4 inch, so it really doesn't count. And for some reason, I mentioned in my last video that I was at week 8. And in reality, I was at week 9. So that means I am now in week 10. Tomorrow will be 10 weeks of beard growth. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the mistakes that I made early on in growing this beard. I failed at 2 previous attempts in the past year and a half or so at growing a beard. And I talked about this a little bit in the first video, but I think one of the things that kept me from really succeeding was the fact that I really didn't educate myself. I didn't invest time on YouTube watching the more prolific beard vloggers. I didn't do a lot of research on the internet. I just kind of winged it. You know, my whole mentality was that the most epic beards on earth would have been beards of the Middle Ages or the Vikings. And let's face it, they didn't have beard oils and they didn't have special shampoos, and they had the most epic beards of all humanity. But after thinking about that a little bit more, and while granted those things are true, neither did they have the harsh chemicals and the garbage that's in skin and hair products that we may be using on our beard for lack of knowledge. So it kind of caused me to open my eyes to doing some research. And what I want to talk about are some of the things that I did early on that I now realize I was repeating the pattern of failure. And the first one would be washing my beard every day. What I would do is I would get into the shower, I would do my normal shower routine, slather up some of the wife's whatever shampoo she had gotten on sale there at Walmart, and just lather up the beard and rinse that sucker out and slap some conditioner in there and rinse that out. And I was doing this every single day, which of course leads us to the second issue, was that I was using hair care products meant for the head. And I've come to understand that this is why my beard always seemed extremely dry and brittle. I was getting the length, but when I would get out of the shower, my beard was kind of sticking out every which way. It was dry. I mean, after I would dry up, when I would feel my beard, it would almost have, for lack of a better term, I want to say a crunch to it. And it was never really comfortable. You know, it was, it just always felt like having straw on your face. So one of the things when I started researching this time was I really committed to buying some products. And the first thing I did was I bought some beard oil. I bought a small 1 ounce Grave Before Shave beard oil. Put it in after I took a shower, and of course I was still making the mistake of using the head shampoo and conditioner. And the difference was amazing. I mean, the oil just kind of separated the hair and softened it up, and even my, even the missus was able to feel the difference immediately and be more encouraging because it was more pleasant to be around. So that was huge. So I then started to realize, as I was researching, as I was kind of educating myself, that maybe washing every day was not a very good idea. So after about the first month in, that's when I came to this epiphany. I started to wash every second and third day. And at this point, I had also bought beard shampoo, or beard wash is what I should say. Also Grave Before Shave, which I'm still using and I still enjoy their stuff. And I did notice that after the second and third day, the beard would just kind of lay differently. It had a different feel to it. It was just kind of softened up. It was more pleasant. Again, just the way that the epiphany with the beard oil, the beard wash was the same thing. It was like, wow. Then I watched a video by Gray Bailey, who's a pretty prolific beard vlogger, about co-washing. And I decided to try that. And the idea of co-washing is you use conditioner like shampoo. So essentially what you do is you can do this every day. You get in the shower, run conditioner through your beard, rinse it off, but no shampoo, don't wash. And the idea is that the conditioner is not stripping the oils out of your beard like the shampoo would. And even though beard shampoos are, or beard washes are more gentle than head shampoo is, you're still going to strip those oils even with a beard wash. It's not going to be as harsh, but the conditioner just brings the moisture into the beard. And what he said in his video was that if you do this for 3 days, you will have a different beard. And my hat's off to you, sir, because I have to tell you that I did it for, my trial period was a 3 or 4 day period, and he was right on the money. It was a different beard. The hairs were starting to hang straighter. The softness was completely different. The texture of the whole beard changed. It was much, much more pleasant. Now, I live down here in Florida where it gets extremely hot, and I don't know if in the summertime I'm going to be able to only wash once a week, but maybe I'll do twice a week. But the point is, I learned to stop using hair products in my beard, hair products meant for the head, and to stop overwashing. The next mistake I made is that about a month in, not even, about 3 weeks in, but I had some substantial hair, particularly around the chin because I already had a goatee. I decided to dye my beard and could not find the touch of gray. I didn't want to take the gray out completely, but I wanted a little bit less of it. So I was unable to find the touch of gray beard and mustache, so just used the one that was designed for the head. Slathered that stuff in. It did work very well. Left it in for 10 minutes and rinsed it. Now, it did make my beard darker. However, looking back, I understand now. The chemical concoction that I was putting onto my beard probably wasn't the best thing for it. And you know what? I've kind of resolved myself to embrace the gray. As many I've seen have said, those grays are hard-earned, and there's nothing wrong with a gray beard. And so I regret doing that. I think that was another one of my early mistakes. Where I am with the beard now is that I'm kind of at a crossroads with the mustache, because my mustache is now about halfway down over my lip. So it's just about getting to that point where I'm becoming aware of it. It's getting a little bit annoying. Now, in the past, I think the longest I ever grew was probably close to 5 months. And because my mustache grows very quickly, I was able at that time to part the mustache and kind of get a handlebar thing going. Just a little bit of wax in it at that time and just pushing it off to the sides. And that did make it much more pleasant, because I found once it's curling over the top lip now, and once it starts hitting the bottom lip is where you're really at that awkward stage. And every time you open and close your mouth, it kind of pushes up on the hair follicles. It becomes very annoying. So I'm thinking right now I'm going to let it go as long as I can, and then see if I can start to part it and separate it in the center, get that V thing going, and just kind of nurture it, and maybe trim some of the underhairs that are coming down, new growth that'll come down over the lip. If that doesn't work, if I find that to be extremely difficult, then I will probably just go to trimming it above the lip. But I haven't really committed on that yet. I would say I probably have about another 2 weeks maybe before I'll have to really make a decision on that, because it's just about now coming to that point. It's probably a little more than halfway down my upper lip right now. So again, that's I wouldn't say that's a mistake I made previously, but I'm kind of at that point where I'm afraid that if I do trim it, I'm going to regret it. So anyway, for you guys who might be growing out beards for the first time, these are just some of the things that I did in the past, and I failed twice. This time I'm a little more determined. Another thing I want to mention is that the first 2 times around, I didn't really delve in like I have this time. I'm trying to, I don't know how to explain this. I'm trying to really keep my head in the game. You know, watching vlogs of other bearded guys, sort of become kinsmen with the whole beardsman thing. You know, and I think that helps, because it's like anything else. You realize that you're sort of part of a community almost, and it helps you to embrace it, as opposed to just kind of going out on your own and doing and just kind of muddling through it and getting to that awkward beard stage and thinking you're the only person this has ever happened to. When you do enough research, you realize that you're not unique at all, that this happens to everybody. And you know, that's another thing, just keeping my head in the game. So I hope these things help if you are starting out. Maybe you're a little bit behind me, maybe you're a little bit ahead of me, but you know, good luck to all my fellow beard growers, and I will talk to you in about a week. This is Blog of the Year. I'm Pepper, and you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.